were injured in an accident.
It wasn't my fault.
But you called an Atlanta TV law firm.
That was my fault.
If you were injured in an accident,
Call Cromartie Law.
Personal service from local attorneys.
we don't get paid unless we win.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like a great basketball team, success starts with a solid game plan. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
I want to pass on everything that I do here. I mean, I love having my kids with me, learning from their dad. A lot of this stuff has been passed down from generation to generation. Yeah, things have changed over the years to make life easier, but still, some stuff you do, it's great to pass on to your kids.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're gonna take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds, or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
At Northwest Georgia Media, we're all about capturing the moments that matter to you. From sports to arts, from concerts to business events, we're equipped to share what's happening in your world, live and in high definition. We leverage cutting-edge technology and a knowledgeable crew to see that your most unforgettable events remain just that, unforgettable.
You've got the graphics at a high level, ESPN style, scoreboard angles, instant replay, anything you would expect to see on a regular broadcast, we're getting in a high school ball game.
They're set up, you wouldn't even know that they're even in the building. You just trust that they're getting the job done.
Northwest Georgia Media, where the world is your audience. High school basketball coverage begins now on the Southeast Sports Network. This broadcast is presented by Cromartie Law. Produced by Northwest Georgia Media in collaboration with WLAQ Radio. You're watching high school basketball action on the Southeast Sports Network.
Yes, sir. We are live and with you here from Shorty University inside the Winthrop King Center. I am Matt Davis alongside Grayson Atkins to bring you the call of the girls championship, which is going to be a little bit delayed tonight. We'll go ahead and let you know that out of the gate because the third place boys game is running a little bit long here. We've already had a couple of games that have taken place here inside Shorty University tonight. We had the girls third place game between the Model Lady Devils and the Rockmart Lady Jackets. To give you the result of that, the Lady Devils came up a little bit short in that one to Rockmart, 55-54 in a nail biter. That was the result in that one. So obviously with that said, Rockmart will be the third place team out of the girls bracket. Meanwhile, the Model Lady Devils take fourth place. And, of course, coming up in just a little bit, we're going to have the girls' championship, and it's going to be a really interesting matchup, Grayson. We're going to have the Pepperell Lady Dragons and Armuchee Lady Indians. And no matter what the result of that game is tonight, we're going to see some history. Number one, if Pepperell ends up winning that, it'll be the first time that the girls' team in Pepperell history has hoisted the gold ball. Meanwhile, it's been about 24 years since Armuchee has won one. So it's been a significant drought for them, despite the fact that they've had some really good teams on both programs. But history occurs tonight in game one, coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah, both of these teams are both really good to start the year out. Armuchee 7-4, but they've had losses to some really, really good teams. Fannin County, and they've played, of course, Fannin County is the defending state champs in AD1, and they've played some higher-up schools like Lassiter or Cola Creek. And you look at Pepperell, right now they're sitting at 11-1. They have one loss to the region. That's at Temple, and we saw Temple play, I think, almost 3 times last year. They're a really good team, and they returned a lot of key factors. So this is going to be an interesting one. Both teams really match up well with each other. I think that both teams have a lot of confidence in shooting the ball. Caitlin House, I don't think she sees the shot that she doesn't like. I've watched her play the past 2 games. First game she dropped 38, which essentially might as well say 40. And then you look at Armuchee, Kelsey Yarp. You have other guys, or other girls, I might say, like, let's see.
Well, and I do want to mention this since you mentioned Caitlin House and her 38 points in the opening round game the other day. A lot of questions were circling around as where does that rank in terms of all time in the tournament? And I actually have an answer that was provided to me today, but I'm not going to give it to you right now. You got to stick around just a little bit to the pregame. We'll reveal that a little bit later. But Grayson, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. Again, just wanted to welcome you to the broadcast and let you know that the championship games will be starting a little bit late tonight because we're in the third place game right now between Rome and Rockmart. We'll give you an update on that when we come back here in just a few moments. But we're glad to have you with us. We're inside the Winthrop King Center tonight on the hill at Shorter University. It is the scene of championship night. It's gold ball night. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're just getting rolling here. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Call Cromartie Law of Rome and get to know local attorneys that work with you personally. Call a TV law firm in Atlanta and get to know this.
Call Cromartie Law in Rome. They've collected tens of millions on behalf of their clients.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
I get ready for a long-range trip by finding inspiration to begin with. Where do I want to go and why? You go away on a big trip and you come back ready to go again.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're gonna take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds, or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Welcome back in, everybody, to live coverage here of the 72nd Annual Rome Seven Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament. Right now we're almost towards the end of the third place boys game, but actually we're just starting the final quarter of the game, so we've got a ways to go until we get ready for game time here in the girls championship. But we just wanted to welcome you back into the broadcast just to give you an update, and you can see the scoreboard there. Right now Rome is on top and pretty good control of this game, 44-26 over the Rockmart Yellow Jackets. Just scored again to lift their score a little bit more. They got a 20-point lead, so we'll keep you updated on that as we continue to go through our pregame. But one of the things that we wanted to do here in our pregame is kind of recap what has taken place in the last day or so. And Grayson, we had a lot of action here yesterday here from Shorty University in the semifinal round. So we'll break down the scores from yesterday just to kind of bring you up to date on how we got to where we are and what's taking place in the championship games tonight. But from the semifinals here from Shorty University yesterday, we got the evening started with an Armuchee win over Rockmart, 44-27. Great team effort there from Armuchee. They've been on fire the first couple of rounds of the tournament. They have punched their ticket to advance to the finals tonight, coming up in just a little bit. Meanwhile, Pepperell just by 3 points edged Model 57-54, and that sets up our first matchup. That's going to be Armuchee and Pepperell coming up in just a little bit, and should be a great matchup. Then a little bit later, Model would pick up a victory over Rome Boys, 70-49, and that one. And of course, when you look at this Model basketball team this year, obviously they've notched 7 wins to start the season, and I think that the smallest deficit that they've had this year in terms of their wins was 15 points. They've won games by 15 points or more every single game this year. Now, the competition they're going up against today, that's going to be a different animal than what they've seen so far. They've seen some good teams, but not at the level as the Darlington Tigers.
Yeah, you look at Darlington, they have a lot of key returners from last year like DJ Hall, Brent Bell, but they have some newcomers as well. Joseph Oganyemi, 6'9" freshman. He plays very well for being a freshman, very mature for his size. He's really physical inside. Then you have guys like Christian Teasley who were there last year, and there's just a bunch of list of names that Darlington has. And it's going to be a challenge for Model, of course, going up against that kind of size. Obviously they don't have Chase Allen or Jeremiah Hurd anymore to kind of combat that, but this is certainly a different style of play than we've seen in years past. They play a lot faster than what I've noticed, and Shaden Woodley and Bryson Denson are going to score the ball at high clips, so that's going to be something to keep an eye out in this game. Oh, no question about it. I certainly suspect we're going to see a lot of scoring in that basketball game. We'll see if that holds up. And we saw a lot of scoring last night with the Darlington Tigers over a team we're watching right now, the Rockmart Yellow Jackets. Darlington would win their semifinal game by a final score of 114-42. They had over 70 points in the first half alone. And then for the second half of the game, obviously because of the mercy rule, you had shortened third and fourth quarters at 6 minutes apiece. So if they'd have played regulation for the duration of that game, there's no telling how many points they would have picked up. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it, except I remember one time, I think when I was in early middle school, maybe later elementary school, I think I lost by 70 in rec league one time. But I think that this Darlington team is deep, and they're certainly going to be a big test for anybody, especially in Northwest Georgia. They have so much depth; it's insane. They will put guys 5 in, 5 out. They have a lot of guys that they can look to score the ball, and they move the ball really, really fast.
So with all that to say, that should be a really interesting matchup coming up in the nightcap as we look to conclude the tournament tonight here from Shorter University. So a lot of basketball ahead. Do want to mention that, of course, video sponsors tonight. You've got presenting sponsor Cromartie Law. Also replay, when we get into that a little bit later, is going to be brought to you by Smith and Wood Wealth Management. Also along providing video coverage sponsorship, you've got Mathis True Value Hardware, World's Finest Chocolate, Advent Health Redmond, and the Herb Shop on Broad. On the radio end of things today, we've got Harbin Clinic and Atrium Health Floyd. Also, we've got Sylvan Learning Center, Equipment Outlet, Georgia Northwestern Technical College chipping in to support live local coverage of high school athletics, as well as Rome Orthopedic Center and Mathis Trailers and Equipment Sales. And we appreciate all of our fine sponsors for being along with us. Well, we'll keep the conversation going. Extended pregame tonight as we are still in the third place game, awaiting championship rounds to begin here a little bit later than expected tonight. But I'm Matt Davis, got Grayson Atkins with me for the call of game one. Coming up in just a little bit, Luke Reynolds will be with us for the call of game two, the boys championship. So two good ones coming up tonight. We'll go ahead and take another 3-minute break here on an extended pregame. We'll be back with more commentary after 3.
If you were injured in an accident,
It wasn't my fault.
but you called an Atlanta TV law firm.
That was my fault.
If you were injured in an accident,
Call Cromartie Law.
Personal service from local attorneys.
we don't get paid unless we win.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
We're gonna take care of you.
if you ever hear these sounds, or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
I get ready for a long-range trip by finding inspiration to begin with. Where do I want to go and why? And usually that involves adventure, something I haven't seen before, something new, a new trail to ride, a new place to get to. You go away on a big trip and you come back ready to go again.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
If you've been injured by a car wreck, dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence, you need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
Welcome you back into the pregame show as we get ready for the championship round to begin here in just a little bit. We're going to be running behind. Obviously, the championships are supposed to start at 6 o'clock and 7:30, but the first couple of games are run a little bit over, so it looks like we're going to be starting the championship probably no earlier, I would say, than 6:15 or maybe 6:20. And we'll see what happens. But we still have 3 minutes and 25 seconds left of the third place boys game. Right now, Rome is still in control of this one. 51-33 is the score with Rome up over Rockmart. This is the 72nd annual Rome Seven Hills Rotary Christmas Tournament, and super excited to be here. A little bit of gold ball history for you in case you were wondering who has the most gold in the trophy case at the school. And we can tell you that on both sides. It's the same answer, the Rome Wolves. The Rome Wolves, as far as the boys bracket is concerned, they picked up 11 over the course of history. Grayson, their last one was last year in 2024. Before that, it was 2018. And then again, you know, since the school came into existence in 1992, they have picked up 11 gold balls. Another interesting part of that, obviously, is that in 1992, that was the first year of Rome High School. Before that, it was split between East Rome and West Rome before those two schools combined. For people that are new to the area, obviously people who have been here for a while, they know that. But East Rome is number 2 in gold balls. They had 9 spanning from 1991 back to 1960. And then West Rome back in the day had 5, 1987, 1985, 1981, 1975, and then 1973. So kind of an interesting fact there. Now on the girls' side, the most gold balls in history, well, as we mentioned to you earlier, that is also Rome. And the last one that they had was back in 2023, and that was in the midst of a 4-peat. Last year they were going for the 5-peat, came up a little bit short there, but they had won 4 years in a row going into last year's tournament. So a little interesting fact there. And then, of course, Model is right behind Rome with 14 gold balls. So thought y'all might find that a little bit interesting tonight.
Yeah, it definitely is interesting. And both of those teams aren't in this championship round, which it seems weird to say the Rome girls aren't in this, but obviously, you know, it's going to be history either way that we look at this. So you mentioned it a few minutes ago in our little pregame segment. For Armuchee, it'll be the first time in 24 years, and for Pepperell, it'll be the first time. So, you know, 2025 is going to be a year of history for both of these squads. Whichever one comes out on top, we'll find that out pretty shortly.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we are glad to have you with us. We're still awaiting the ending of the third place game. Rome is up 55-34. They've been in control of this one for a good part of this basketball game. So they look to be the third place team in the tournament, and Rockmart will end up being fourth as far as that is concerned. But again, running a little bit behind here, so we're going to go ahead and recognize the crew, and then we'll take another break. But the crew that's involved in the broadcast tonight, certainly want to give them their due because they are working hard tonight already, getting set up for the next ball games that we have for you. But on mid-court cameras tonight, you're going to have Afton Taylor and Bennett Abernathy. Also, sideline cameras will be Clay Hardiker and Miracle Lilly. Replay is Nathan Patterson tonight. Mike Garrett is the director. I'm Matt Davis with play-by-play. Color commentary from Grayson Atkins tonight. And, of course, back at Command Central down at WLAQ, which is not that far from here, just a couple streets over. We've got Lynn Butler, who is manning Command Central, back in the studio, and we appreciate that. So got a full crew tonight. We got a lot of basketball action coming up for you on the airwaves of WLAQ and also on the live stream produced by Northwest Georgia Media. We'll go ahead and take another break, and we've got 1 minute and 47 seconds left of the third place game. Rome is up 57-34 in the boys bracket. We'll step out for 3 minutes. We'll come back for more, and perhaps we'll have the end result of this game when we come back in 3.
If you've been injured by a car wreck, dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence, you need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like a great basketball team, success starts with a solid game plan. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
Yeah, things have changed over the years to make life easier, but still, some stuff you do, it's great to pass on to your kids.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
We're gonna take care of you.
if you ever hear these sounds, or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
Welcome you back live. We do have a final result in the boys' third place game. It was Rome, the victors here. They will take the third place trophy, winning 60-38 over Rockmart. So we have a couple of games that are in the books here, and we will now officially start our pregame for the girls' championship. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Matt Davis alongside Grayson Atkins as we bring you coverage of the championship round of the 72nd annual Rome Seven Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament. Super glad to be with you tonight. It is a special night, and to say that the gold ball at the end of the tournament is highly coveted would be an understatement. These teams put a lot of effort and emotion into the tournament and over the last couple of days to just have the opportunity to play for it. You got to win 3 games in 3 days, and one of the things that's always interesting at the end of the night, whether it's the girls game or the boys game, is to watch the joy on the team that wins and then also the sadness on the team that loses. It's always a very emotional moment for both sides, and you can't have one without the other. It means a lot, is the point.
Yeah, and I remember last year when our girls lost to Calhoun, there were a lot of I wouldn't say sad faces, but certainly disappointed whenever they lost to Calhoun. So it's a very emotional tournament. Of course, one team can only come on top every year, which is like every tournament. But, you know, this one kind of means something. There's a lot of tradition behind it. You know, there's a lot of history to any of these matchups that are played. So it's a very coveted ball, and heavy is the crown for whoever wins it.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. So to tell you a little bit about the two teams that are playing in this game tonight, of course, Grayson, you referenced earlier that Pepperell is off to a super hot start this season at an 11-1 record. They've won 6 games in a row. They're 2-1 in their region, which is Class A, Region 6, Division 1. They're averaging about 55, close to 56 points a game, giving up just 35. So they play tenacious defense. They'll press you a good part of the game. And, of course, they play great team ball on the offensive side of the floor as well. They distribute the ball well. That you'll see a lot of great ball movement. They've got a lot of players that can score from the perimeter. They can get the ball inside and can generate points that way. It's a very dynamic offense here for this Armuchee team.
Yeah, and we look at Kelsey Arp. She's going to be the main ball handler for this Armuchee team, and you know, she can score in a lot of ways. Mostly, you know, a lot of her shots are from the three-point line. And yesterday, whenever they were playing, I believe it was Rockmart, you know, shooting from the black line, and that's the college three-point line. So, you know, there's a lot of confidence in her shot, and especially with Josie Harris. And I believe Tori Vitello, that is, they have a lot of confidence from deep. They're not afraid to let it fly. And Aubrey McConkey inside and Bella Duck inside, they're going to give them space to work. They're going to get them at the top of the key and try to get them inside. If they're working against a zone or a man, they're going to try to get their best looks wherever they can.
No question about it. Then on the other side for the Pepperell Lady Dragons, and of course the name that you're going to hear the most is going to be Caitlin House. And when you look at their first round win against Rome, she picked up 38 points in that game. Now we've revealed the answer to the trivia question that was posed earlier in the broadcast if you were tuning in. But people were wanting to know, where does that rank in terms of all time with the tournament? Well, I got an answer. And if you want to know historical data in terms of the tournament, I can tell you where to turn to. That is the Phil Carter Archives, because you will get the most in-depth information about that. And I got a text message from him today, and he let me know that the 38 points by Caitlin House of Pepperell versus Rome was the fourth highest on the girls' side in terms of the Christmas tournament, exceeded only by 41 by Dee Barnett of Coosa versus East Rome back in 1990. Here's a familiar name. 40 by Victoria Saxton of Model versus Calhoun back in 2015. And then 39 by Tracy Perry of Chattooga versus Model back in 1986. So thank you very much, Phil Carter, for the information. There is your answer. Number 4 on the all-time list of most points scored in a game in Christmas tournament history in the girls' bracket. Caitlin House with 38 earlier in the week.
Yeah, and against Rome, you know, there's a high volume of shots, but regardless, you know, I'll say 40 points is 40 points. You know, she has the green light to shoot it from wherever. If it's a step back three, it's a step back three. If it's a floater from, you know, maybe a 15, 20 feet outside, you know, she's going to shoot it. There's not a lot of shots that she doesn't like, and it's going to be tough for Armuchee to contain her. But, you know, they also do have a lot of other scoring opportunities with Sarah Harris, Millie Hopper, and Hannah Smith. And on that side as well, Kirsten Cordell, I think those are their starters. But, you know, they take a lot of load off of her hands scoring the ball, because especially in the game last night, we saw Hannah Smith get a lot of open looks. She was knocking it down from three a whole lot, and Millie Hopper stepped up in the final few minutes of that game, nailing a few layups. And Sana Evans, I believe that's how you say her name, she can shoot a little bit from the outside and move inside. So there are a lot of scoring options for both of these teams. And Pepperell, you may think it's the Caitlin House show. It's not just the Caitlin House show. They have a lot of other scoring options they can go to.
No doubt about it. Well, that's a good place for us to take another break. We're going to step out. When we come back, we'll continue to set the stage. The Girls Championship here at the 72nd Annual Rome Seven Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament is coming up. We are officially 10 minutes away from tip-off, and we look forward to continuing to get you ready for this exciting matchup. I got a feeling this is going to be a barn burner, Grayson. I really do.
I think it will be a barn burner. There's probably going to be very high scoring, but we'll see. In 10 minutes, we'll find out.
Absolutely. Less than 10 minutes away. We're going to step out for 3 minutes. We'll be back with more on the pregame after a 3-minute break.
Call Cromartie Law of Rome and get to know local attorneys that work with you personally. Call a TV law firm in Atlanta and get to know this.
Call Cromartie Law in Rome. They've collected tens of millions on behalf of their clients.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
I get ready for a long-range trip by finding inspiration to begin with. Where do I want to go and why? You go away on a big trip and you come back ready to go again.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
We're gonna take care of you.
if you ever hear these sounds, or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Tonight on the campus of Shorter University, and it is the 72nd annual Rome Seven Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament, the conclusive night, and the gold balls will be hoisted at the end of each one of our games this evening. And the first one up is going to be the Armuchee Lady Indians against the Pepperell Lady Dragons. In our last segment, Grayson, we talked a bit about the red-hot record of this Pepperell Lady Dragons team, but also our Armuchee Indians. They've had a good season as well. They are 7-4 overall, 3-1 in region play. They play in Region 7 out of Class A Division I, averaging close to 48 points a game, giving up just 41. They've won 3 games in a row, and they have built a lot of momentum in this tournament. They are definitely going to be a tough team to take down to get the gold ball.
Yeah, they're going to be a tough team to take down, and even looking forward, even in the region, I know Armuchee is not in that region, but for teams like Heard County, Temple, looking further down the road, it's going to be a tough beat to try and beat these Pepperell Lady Dragons. Even though Temple already beat them, it's still going to be really tough just because the way they can stretch the ball out and find different ways to score other than Caitlin House. And she's 1,000-point scorer, so she has the green light. It's pretty evident in the games that they play that she doesn't, I said it earlier, she doesn't see a shot that she doesn't like. She will shoot the ball at a high clip. So that's one thing that we're going to have to take a look at in this game is how many points can she score and how many shots is she going to take.
Well, here's a look at the path that each one of these teams had to get to this point, playing in the championship round. For the Armuchee Lady Indians, they picked up a 68-29 victory over Darlington in the first round. In that particular game, Grayson, Josie Harris notched a game-high 23 points, had 5 threes in the game. And, of course, we were talking about Kelsey Arp earlier. She had 12 points in that game. Vitello came in, had 17 points as well versus Darlington. So, to your point, you had 3 players in that game that were in double figures. They have the ability to spread the ball around and get production in terms of offense from different places on the floor.
Yeah, and against Cromartie, they did a good job at spacing that ball out a whole lot there, moving the ball inside and out. And that's exactly what we're going to see tonight from this Armuchee Lady Indians team. They're not just going to shoot the 3 ball like a lot of teams are. They're going to space it out. They're going to want to go inside. They're going to go inside and out. If the 3 ball's not there, they're going to be able to get looks inside.
And to your point on that particular game, the semifinal victory for Armuchee was over Rockmart, 44-27, and Armuchee would have 8 players that got in the scorebook, including 2 players that were in double digits. Kelsey Arp with 10. Tori Vitello had 11 in that game. Just behind with 9 points was Josie Harris, but it was a great team effort, again, sharing the ball and picking up the victory. Meanwhile, the Pepperell Lady Dragons beat Rome 56-48 in one of the more entertaining games that we've seen in the tournament, because I know Rome graduated a lot of players from last year, but they still retain a lot of talent, and that was a big challenge that I think actually helps Armuchee to have a tough test there in the first round, kind of get dialed in, survive that, move on, and then they picked up the close victory. Pepperell did, I'm talking about, over Model 57-54. So anyway, they've had a couple of tough games here in the tournament, and I think that helps them in this matchup against Armuchee.
Yeah, and in that game against Model last night, Pepperell almost let it slip away at the end. There was a shot attempt by Sasha Wood with, I think, about 10 minutes, or maybe not the exact shot you wanted in that situation, just because it was deep and you had 10 seconds or so left on the clock. But Pepperell did a good job closing out. They made their free throws when it mattered. And I said earlier, Millie Hopper came up really clutch in those late game situations. They were in control for most of the game. I think They had the lead for the majority of the game. I think Model's closest deficit was maybe 2 or 3 points, and that was in the first quarter up until the fourth quarter. So it was a really competitive game.
And Grayson, to your point on that, Millie Hopper down the stretch hit 6 free throws that really helped Pepperell lift themselves to victory in that basketball game that got them in the goal ball round. So yeah,
she came up really clutch at the end for sure. And Model, obviously we're looking at some tough injuries for them, but at the end of the day, Pepperell ended up pulling it out. And as you said, and as we're going to say all game, here they are.
Well, folks, we're going to take one more break, then we're going to come back, have the national anthem, give you the starting lineups, then it'll be go time. We've got the goal ball round starting up in 2 minutes. Let's step out for a minute and a half down the line. We'll come back. As I mentioned, we'll get things rolling inside the Winthrop King Center on the hill at Shorter University. We'll be back.
If you were injured in an accident,
It wasn't my fault.
but you called an Atlanta TV law firm.
That was my fault.
If you were injured in an accident,
Call Cromartie Law.
Personal service from local attorneys.
We don't get paid unless we win.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
I get ready for a long-range trip by finding inspiration to begin with. Where do I want to go and why? You go away on a big trip and you come back ready to go again.
To live coverage here of the 72nd annual Rome 7 Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament provided by Northwest Georgia Media and WLAQ. We're going to give you the starting lineups. Of course, we'll have the national anthem and we'll get things rolling inside the Winthrop King Center. And of course, one of the things you're going to notice over the crowd mic tonight, they got a celebrity who is on the PA tonight. Larry Gardner from the Rome Emperors is here tonight, and that's one of those voices that stands out no matter where he goes.
Look, and I was doing PA yesterday, and as much as I've done it, I am a shell in comparison to Larry Gardner.
I thought you did a tremendous job, but we'll go ahead and give you the starting lineups here for tonight's game. We'll get things rolling here in this girls' championship. We are going to start in just a couple of moments here and give you those. I thought we would have the national anthem, but I think they must have done it before the consolation games and won't do it again. So here's your Armuchee Indians starting 5. We're going to start with number 5, Kelsey Arp, a junior. Number 10, Peyton Puckett. She is a senior. Number 11, Josie Harris. She is a junior. Then you'll have number 14, Aubrey McConkey. She is a junior as well. And then rounding out the starting 5 here tonight for the Armuchee Lady Indians is going to be sophomore, number 21, Tori Vitello. Their head coach, she's a senior,
yes,
right?
She's a senior.
Thank you. I wrote that down wrong in my scorebook. Apologize for that. The head coach of the Armuchee Lady Indians is Michelle Arp. Has done a great job throughout her tenure at the helm of the Armuchee Lady Indians. Has done a great job with this group. She's got a very strong team this year, no question about it. Pepperell Lady Dragons, here are their starting 5. Number 2, Caitlin House. She is a senior. Number 3, Hannah Smith, a senior as well. Number 12, Sarah Harris, a junior. Number 14, Millie Hopper, a freshman. And rounding out the starting 5 here for the Pepperell Lady Dragons is going to be Kristen Cordell. And, of course, the head coach of the Pepperell Lady Dragons, doing a great job with this squad for a long time, is Emily Plater. And, again, they come into the game 11-1, 2-1 in region play. Meanwhile, Armuchee is 7-4 and 3-1. And that's your starting lineups. There's only one thing left to do as we get ready to go. Let's get this thing tipped off and get a championship underway.
Yeah, let's get this thing started. And I kind of anticipated this matchup a few days ago. I figured, these teams are eventually going to be on a course to play each other. These teams are really deep. These teams have a lot of scoring options. So I think that they were on a collision course for tonight.
Well, folks, we've got just about a capacity crowd. Folks are lined up around the rafters. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and I've got a feeling this is going to be one of those games that could go down to the final minute. So let's get it rolling. 2 players in the circle, House for Pepperell, and then for the Armuchee Lady Indians, you've got McConkey, and we're underway. The tip is going to go to the Lady Dragons. They'll open up on offense. Hannah Smith is going to bring it out of the backcourt, dribbles off to the left wing side, now backs up between the circles, fires it up to the top of the key. Now right wing side they go, and a traveling called against Pepperell out of the gate. That'll be a turnover. It's coming to the Lady Indians for the first time of the ball game.
You can already tell there's a lot of energy in this matchup. Armuchee's playing tight man-to-man coverage and denying the ball any chance that they can get. So a lot of high energy here already, and we're only 15 seconds in.
Vitello with it, going to send it to Arp. Arp, cross-court pass, gets away from her, and it is going to be kept in bounds. Nope, she went on the sidelines as she was trying to pick it up off the floor. And I think what you're seeing here, Grayson, obviously they played a couple of games in a row, but tonight is different. It's for the gold ball. There's a lot of nerves coming into this game. May take a couple of possessions here for teams to settle in. Maybe a little more than that. We'll see. But right now, Pepperell with the ball, fires the 3, and it is through. That is Sarah Harris knocking down the first bucket of the game, and it's a biggie, the tray.
Like I said earlier, it's not just the Caitlin House show. They're going to get a lot of looks, not just from inside, but they can shoot the ball.
Arp down low to McConkey. McConkey off the glass. That one is through. First bucket of the game for Armuchee. It's 3-2, a 1-point ball game. Pepperell across the timeline, works up towards the top of the key, now left, ball poked free, but it stays with Pepperell. They'll retain possession. Now back out to Hannah Smith. Smith fires right, now goes to work inside, drives the low block, kicks out to the right wing side to Cordell. She will back her way into the paint, challenges underneath, got it to the rim, it rattled off and went out of bounds, and Grayson, it's coming back to Armuchee.
Yeah, it looks like Pepperell's going to be back in this press. Looks like a 1-2-1-1. Just a lot of upfront pressure, just to try and keep the shot clock going down.
So Armuchee will pass around the pressure. Here's McConkey, bounce pass underneath. Puckett puts it up, can't get it to go, and the ball ricochets out of bounds, but it's staying on this side.
They're relying on this upfront pressure for Pepperell in this full court press. And once Armuchee gets the ball past the half court line, there's a lot of opportunity because of the one person that's going to be back.
Inbound pass to McConkey from Arp, can't get it to go. Second look won't fall for Vitello. They get it out around the perimeter. Here's Josie Harris, now to Puckett, right wing side. Arp thought about the 3, had 2 defenders on her, goes with the runner, misses the shot. Rebound goes to McConkey. Harris fires the 3, and it is in. Josie Harris in her first bucket, and Armuchee's out to a 5-3 lead. Pepperell goes back the other way. They'll back up between the circles, set up their half-court offense. Going to bounce it out up top. Right now dribbling with the basketball is Sarah Harris for the Lady Dragons. Now she works her way out towards the right wing side, backing her way in, and she traveled, I believe. Turnover for Pepperell. It's coming back to Armuchee as they try to grab the early momentum.
And Armuchee's doing a good job breaking this press. So Pepperell's going to try and drop back and go into a little bit of a half-court press, sending Caitlin House up front.
Arp going to work quick, sends it left wing side. Get it into the corner, now back up top. This is going into the backcourt, tracking it down as Puckett, and that'll be a backcourt violation coming back to the Lady Dragons.
Just the errant pass right there, and those are those things you don't want to see, but you'd rather have it happen early than late.
100%. So the Lady Dragons set to inbound the basketball. They will survey the floor, try to find the open player. They're going to the backcourt, gets it to Kirsten Cordell. And now bringing it out of the backcourt. Well, nope, stolen away. Here's Puckett, one-on-one underneath, misses the shot, and the ball is out of bounds. Let's see which direction the official points. It's coming back to Pepperell.
Now it looks like Armuchee's going to go into a full court man, just trying to deny the ball and try to take players away from getting the ball up the floor.
And so Pepperell brings it back the other way. Millie Hopper with it across the midcourt stripe, across the Hawk head here at Shorter University. Lost the handle on it, sails out of bounds, but it must have been poked free by one of the Armuchee players. because it's staying on this end. Armuchee fans protesting the call a little bit in the student section. And now Pepperell inbounds the ball. They get it to Cordell on the right wing side, and another whistle. I think this is going to be a foul against Armuchee's ARP, unless I'm badly mistaken. We'll see. It may have been away from the ball.
I think they called that an ARP, just the contact on the catch.
Well, Hannah Smith defeated in here for the Lady Dragons. 5-3, Armuchee on top by 2. We played about 3 minutes of this one. Going to send it to the right wing side to House, being guarded tightly by Vitello. House going to make a move around a screen. Now goes up top, fires the 3. That one rattles off the rim. Arps there, gets the rebound. Going to bring it back the other way for Armuchee. Outlet pass down low. Puckett kicks it out, gives it to Vitello, drives in strong, and is going to the charity stripe.
Yeah, both these teams are playing real aggressive defensively, and Armuchee takes advantage of it right there. And especially when you're playing aggressive defensively inside, there are going to be a whole lot of more fouls called. So something to keep an eye on as the game progresses.
Shot on the way and through. The free throw line is kind there to Tori Vitello on the first shot. Let's see if she'll make the next one. Armuchee out to a 6-3 lead with 4:47 left to go first quarter. Second shot on the way. That one's off the side of the rim. Rebound is going to go to Caitlin House. And the Dragons will bring it up the floor in the hands of Hannah Smith. Drives off to the left wing side around a screen from House. They pass right, go into the paint, and she travels. So a turnover for Pepperell, and it's coming back the other way. We mentioned to you earlier in the broadcast that the Pepperell Lady Dragons have never won the gold ball. So if they win tonight's game, we will see history unfold for the Pepperell Lady Dragons. And they've had some good teams in recent years. Hot pass underneath. They get it to McConkey. Can't get the shot to go, though. And we have our first jump ball of the game. The possession arrow points in Armuchee's direction, so it stays on this end.
And Pepperell's running a 1-3-1 right now, just trying to get the ball, out of playmakers' hands and trying to bring down this shot clock.
Crisp pass underneath to Vitello, off the glass, too strong. Rebound picked up by House. Pepperell's going to bring it back the other way. House wants to work quick across the timeline. Drives coast to coast off the glass and through. Caitlin House has got her first points, but everybody here knows it won't be her last. Here comes Arp. Sends it right wing side to Vitello. Deep into the corner to Puckett. The corner 3 rattles off the rim. It won't go.
Armuchee's had a lot of good looks, just can't get them to fall.
House gets the rebound, sends it left wing side. Pepperell wants to work inside. Backs her way towards the low block. Puts up the shot. Misses. Ball poked out of bounds. Last touch by Armuchee. It stays with Pepperell. So a lot of drama in this one early. 3:42 left to go in the first quarter, and right now Pepperell clings, or rather Armuchee clings to a 1.6-5 lead. Inbound pass headed towards House, picked off by Vitello, but she stepped on the sideline. So the Dragons will inbound underneath their own basket.
Once again, the Armuchee student section and faithful do not like that.
Very spirited crowd here tonight, which is what you expect to see here in the championship round. Love it. Great basketball atmosphere. I mean, there's some playoff games at the end of the year where you don't get this kind of atmosphere. House has got it, goes in, puts up the shot. That'll be a miss. Bit too strong there. Rebounds picked up by Pepperell. They'll get another look. Too strong again. And that'll be a foul on Pepperell, and it's coming back to Armuchee. They are going to get Sana Evans there with the foul.
As I said, inside, both teams are playing really aggressive, so we're probably going to see a lot of over-the-back fouls. We're probably also going to see a lot of shooting fouls, and there goes one more foul.
Ooh, House picks up an early foul with 3:22 left to go in the first quarter, and Armuchee gets set to inbound in front of the scorer's table, just in front of where we're sitting here on the near sidelines. So Arp takes the inbound pass from Harris, brings it across the timeline, looks right, fires that way, gets it over to Vitello. Now back up top to Harris, fires the long-range 3. They left that one short. There to try to clean it up was McConkey. The ball is knocked out of bounds by Pepperell, so it stays on this end.
And Armuchee's getting a lot of good looks inside, so Pepperell's going to go back to this 2-3 to try to get more people inside because Armuchee's really piecing them up down low with open looks.
Armuchee leads at 6-5, 3-10 left to go off the inbound pass. The shot is missed. Rebound's going to go to Pepperell. They'll bring it back the other way, trying to slow it down a little bit here on this possession. Hannah Smith's got it. Now she speeds up as she crosses the timeline. Ball is knocked loose on the floor. Evans picks it up, and Pepperell retains possession. Lob pass over to House. Spin move trying to get around Vitello. Vitello does a good job staying in front, contests the three-point shot, misses it, and we've got a foul underneath. I think we're going to see free throws here for Pepperell.
That's some really tight defense by Vitello, and Caitlin House is not afraid to shoot those shots, but maybe right there, that's not the best shot you want to take with a person right in your face.
Sarah Harris at the free throw line. These will be the first free throws of the game for Pepperell. First one is going to be off the back of the rim. It won't fall. As a substitution, Bella Duck checks in for Armuchee's McConkey. I'll give you a floor check on both teams here in a couple of moments. Got a lot of action in this one early on. Shot on the way off the back of the rim. It won't fall. Arp gets the rebound, brings it back the other way, motors across the timeline, wants to work fast. Arp thought about the three, hesitated, passed it to Harris. Now right wing side, Puckett fires the three, misses the shot, and it's a one and done trip for the Lady Indians. Hannah Smith across the timeline, dribbling down the sidelines. The ball's going to be poked out of bounds there by Armuchee, so it stays with Pepperell. Capacity crowd it looks to be on hand for this one, and they are loud and they are into it. We got a timeout on the floor, 2:26 left to go in the first period. Armuchee up, it's a tight one, 6-5. We're back in 30 seconds.
Yeah, things have changed over the years to make life easier, but still, some stuff you do, it's great to pass on to your kids.
Set to inbound the ball out of the break. Right now at the top of the key, they'll drive towards the low block, a heave towards the bucket. It won't go. She gets her own rebound, though. That was Harris, puts up another one. Coming out with it was Arp. Pass underneath a bucket and kisses it in off the glass. Great sequence for the Indians there. Nice pass from Arp and the finish from Puckett.
That was a great pass, Dylan. That was a high-level pass. Just get it right through the defense, up over the top. And it leads to 2.
Ball stolen away by Puckett. And a whistle is going to go against number 3, Hannah Smith, for Pepperell. So we'll get ready for Armuchee to inbound the basketball with just under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter, with Armuchee leading the basketball game 8-5. And there's the inbound pass from Harris. She gets it into Arp. The floor general there. Stops, fires it to the near side. Nobody picked up Puckett. Decided not to shoot the three. Here's Harris. Now back over to Arp. Long range three between the circles. Misses that shot by Hare. And House comes down with a rebound for Pepperell. Goes back the other way. Going to fire the long range three on the other side. Left that one short. Both teams shooting from deep here on the last couple of possessions. Here's Arp, spins around, kicks it out. There's a three, and it is through. That is Puckett hitting another bucket there. She's got 5 points in the ball game, and Armuchee out to 11-5 lead.
Yeah, and you look at what Pepperell's doing on defense with that 2-3 zone, especially at the top. You know, those two people are going to be spaced out, trying to prevent some passes, and right there they didn't pressure the ball well enough. And Kelsey Arp was just able to shoot it, and it was golden. That was a deep three too. That was almost at the hawk. Just about, well, maybe a little bit shorter, but it was definitely far out.
Inbound pass is picked off. Armuchee with the ball, goes up top. Vitello's got it. Now going to fire it right wing side to Harris. Now underneath to McConkey, going to go inside, misses the shot. Ball rolls out of bounds, and the Lady Dragons will get the ball back.
Yeah, both these teams are playing really aggressive. Peyton Puckett is being really aggressive defensively, and we see Armuchee going right back to what they do best. That's that full court man. Just denying the ball and trying to prevent anybody from getting it. And when they do, they barely have enough time to get the ball across the floor.
Hannah Smith fired in a pass, and the ball was knocked out of bounds. And now we'll see Pepperell inbound the ball on their side of the floor on the far sidelines. To handle the inbounding duties is going to be Hannah Smith, the senior. So she'll trigger things in motion on offense here in just a couple of moments. We're almost down to the final minute of the first quarter of the championship game here in the girls bracket. Pepperell with the basketball. They start to work towards the right wing. With the ball is Millie Hopper. Hopper down to the low block, now to the baseline. Going to fire it out to the right wing side. Great defense right now from Armuchee, absolutely suffocating. And here come the Pepperell Dragons towards the paint, travels. And to me, Grayson, that is all the pressure on this end that was coming from the defense. They didn't have anywhere to go with the ball.
Yeah, and I touched on it a few seconds ago with this press. You know, they're just trying to get you to make mistakes. They're going to try to speed you up, and especially in that man, Pepperell's getting sped up really, really, really high right now.
Armuchee with the basketball, sends it to the right wing. Harris has got it, fires it up top. Now to the left wing. Here's Puckett, fires the three. That one's a little bit too strong. Ball goes into the backcourt. Last tip by Pepperell, and so Armuchee hangs on to the basketball. Right now with it is Harris. She works her way towards the right wing, gives it off to McConkey, who's on the outside. Now to Vitello. Vitello now on to Puckett. Going to fire it back to the right wing side. Pass was deflected, but McConkey was able to handle it. Here's Harris for three and through. Nothing but net. What a shot. And that is the end of the half, and that hit the rim.
First quarter, you mean?
Oh, that's exactly right. First quarter. Got a little excited there ahead of myself. But at the end of one, the Armuchee Lady Indians are up by 9, 14-5. We're going to step out for 1 minute. We'll come back for the second quarter after a 1 minute break.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like a great basketball team, success starts with a solid game plan. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
Call Cromartie Law of Rome and get to know local attorneys that work with you personally. Call a TV law firm in Atlanta and get to know this.
Call Cromartie Law in Rome. They've collected tens of millions on behalf of their clients.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
Pepperell inbounds the ball, trailing 14-5, needing a bucket here. Do they get it? Nope, that's off the front of the rim after going off the backboard. Second look won't go. Rebound goes to McConkey, and Armuchee's going to bring it back the other way with a 14-5 lead. Here's Art, sends it to the right wing corner to Puckett. Cutting towards the basket was McConkey, takes the pass from Puckett, misses the shot, and Pepperell gets the ball going back. We're at a frenetic pace here. Here's House, little runner, won't go. Put back for Pepperell, hangs on the rim, falls off. Ball loose on the floor, and we got a tie-up. Possession arrow pointing in Armuchee's direction. All right, Armuchee going to inbound the basketball, leading it 14-5. 7:26 left to go here in the second quarter. And we got a ton of energy in this building tonight. Arp across the midcourt stripe, goes across the beak of the Hawk head here at Shorter University. Arp with the basketball up top, going to send it right wing, trying to get it to Josie Harris. It went behind her back and goes out of bounds. Almost handled the pass, but that's going to be a turnover.
Another thing that Armuchee's doing really well, it looks like they're face guarding Caitlin House, so just trying to get the ball away from her at all times because she's deadly whenever she has some open looks.
And here comes House towards the low block, spins around, Vitello all in her face, now kicks it out to left wing side, back to House, jacks up a quick three and drills it. Now that was a big time shot, Grayson.
And another thing you see from her, she's a volume shooter. She sees one goes in, she's going to shoot a whole lot more.
McConkey to Harris, Armuchee with the ball. Art thought about the three, drives in, kicks out. Here's Vitello, works the baseline, and she travels. A turnover for Armuchee, a little bit of momentum swinging in Pepperell's direction. This is a big possession here for the Pepperell Dragons.
It's crazy how 1-3 can switch some momentum, but when you have a shooter and scorer like Caitlin House who can score at will, it certainly can build some momentum.
Cross-court pass nearly stolen away. Shot is up. They're going to say, I think that was on the floor, a blocking foul against Armuchee. They're going to get Arp on the foul. And we will see Pepperell inbound the ball here in just a couple of moments.
That was kind of a bang play. I could have saw that go either way. I guess the referees thought that she wasn't planted, didn't have a firm foundation enough, but either way, Pepperell will have the ball.
Here is House. Nice screen set for her. Puts up the three. He's got to get those shots off quick against this Armuchee defense. And now Pepperell with the rebound goes back to the rim. And we're going to have another whistle. It looks like the Dragons may be shooting some free throws here. Yep, it's going to be Sarah Harris at the charity stripe where she has been once tonight. And missed them both the first time. But she's dialed in here. That is nothing but net on the first free throw of the pair, and the score moves to 14-9 as the Dragons continue to cut into the Armuchee lead. So one more coming up here for Harris. It's on the way and through, dialed in for those two free throw shots, and we've got a 4-point game, 14-10. And Art going to bring it up the floor here for the Armuchee Lady Indians. She is now across the timeline, sends it to the near side, between the circles, gets it to Puckett, now to Vitello. We got another whistle, and this one is going to go against Hannah Smith. I've got her with 2.
Yeah, and one thing is both Kelsey Arp and Hannah Smith have 2. So down the stretch of this game, those are 2 early fouls. So it's going to be a chess match to see who can stay out of foul trouble, because both these teams, whenever people start getting into foul trouble, they're going to go right after that player.
And Gloria McGinnis, as we talk about that, checks in for Hannah Smith, who picked up those 2 fouls early in the ball game. Puckett with the basketball between the circles, gives it off to Duck, to McConkey, kicks it outside, trying to get Arp open. Here's Puckett after a nice pass from Arp, misses the shot. Vitello charges in, gets the rebound, scoops it up into the basket, and picks up some more points. Tori Vitello. We got another whistle. This one's going to be against Vitello, who just scored. So 5:43 left to go here in the first half. Armuchee's back to a 6-point, 16-10 lead. Pepperell going to bring it up the floor. Across the timeline goes Harris. Now starts to work right. Going to lob it over to Caitlin House, trying to work around Vitello. Ball is poked free. It's going to stay with the Dragons, though. Picking it up is Millie Hopper. Sends it right wing side, gets it at Evans. Evans fires up top. Back to Harris. She'll start to drive, goes in, turns, trying to get it to the rim. It can't do it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. The ball sails out of bounds. It was last touched by Pepperell, so Armuchee will get the ball.
That's amazing pressure there by Armuchee, just shutting down the passing lanes. That's something they do really well. There's not going to be a lot of good passes that are going to get through on this Armuchee defense, so doing a really good job early in those passing lanes.
Armuchee with the basketball. Pepperell still in a 2-3 zone. Ball is going to be attempted to be kept in bounds there by Arp. Nice effort, but stepped on the baseline rather, so it's coming back to Pepperell. Harris is going to check in for McConkey for Armuchee. A good time to give you a floor check. We'll start with Pepperell. Caitlin House about to inbound the basketball. Millie Hopper is out there for the Lady Dragons. Also, you've got Sarah Harris as well as Gloria McGinnis, and then also Evans is out there for the Lady Dragons. We'll give you Armuchee's 5 on the floor in just a couple of moments. But right now, Pepperell with the basketball. McGinnis has got it. Dribbling, now starts to go to work, puts up a 3-point shot. That's off the side of the rim. Rebound's going to be picked up here by Kelsey Arp. Bounce pass underneath to Tori Vitello as they were working fast trying to get out in transition and find a look, but the defense got back quick.
And once again, we're seeing this on the defensive end for Armuchee. Vitello's face guarding House, so there's absolutely no room to get any passes there to her in order to try and keep her from scoring.
Here's Josie Harris from deep for 3, and that's going to miss the rim and sail out of bounds. It's coming back to Pepperell. So right now it's 16-10, Armuchee on top. We've got 4 minutes and 35 seconds left of the second quarter, and we've got a timeout on the floor taken by Coach Clater of the Pepperell Dragons, so we'll take it with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're going to take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Welcome you back into live coverage of the 72nd Annual Rome 7 Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament. I'm Matt Davis of WLAQ Sports, bringing you play-by-play commentary. I'm joined by a former intern at WLAQ, Model High School graduate, and now a freshman at Samford University. Grayson Atkins is with me. Thanks for being here, Grayson. It's great to hang out with you tonight.
Of course, it's always good to be calling a game. This is the first of a few for me. I got my first time doing PA for the Christmas tournament yesterday, and first time ever calling a Christmas tournament game. So while I'm not in high school anymore, obviously, I get to come back and do some stuff for this tournament, which I've spent a lot of time watching over the past few years. So it's always pretty cool.
It's a reunion of sorts.
It's a you could say.
Evans with the basketball, and she travels, shuffled her pivot foot, over in front of the official, and it's coming back now to the Armuchee Lady Indians.
Yeah, you got on to me earlier because I was wearing a Georgia shirt yesterday, and now I'm wearing a Samford shirt. You're like, oh, well, you're wearing the right Bulldogs today.
Absolutely. I'm a Georgia Tech fan, so a little background on that. We kind of give each other a hard time about that. Of course, you get the upper hand on that more times than not, just about all the time. Here's our little runner. That's up off the side of the rim, won't go. House is there, gets the rebound for the Lady Dragons. She's going to bring it across the timeline. Now dribbles towards the low block on the right side and gets fouled. And that foul is going to be charged to Vitello of Armuchee.
That's another thing that she's going to have to be careful with, is even when you're face guarding, you're guarding real close, trying not to get shots up. You can't really put your arms down, especially when a shot goes up. So just, trying to be not necessarily less aggressive, but certainly mindful when somebody's going to shoot and how you contest.
House shoots the first free throw. She is a clutch free throw shooter. Makes the first one. Nice touch. Gets ready for a second. And now the lead is cut to 5. Armuchee still on top, though, 16-11. We're a little over halfway through our second quarter of this basketball game.
This game's gone by, I feel like, pretty fast compared to last game. Iowa showed up at halftime, but it felt like it took like 40 minutes for that half to end.
Second shot on the way. That's going to rattle in for House, so she makes them both, and the free throw line has been pretty kind overall, especially here in the second quarter for Pepperell. They're 4 for 4 in the second quarter. Missed a couple in the first quarter, but I think that was when everybody was still trying to get dialed in and settle some nerves at the beginning of the game. But both teams settled in now. Here is Josie Harris going to drive in, little runner. That one rattles off the rim. Rebound goes to McConkey, though, so they may get another look. Good ball movement. Head fake. Here's a little runner again from Harris. Misses that shot. Evans comes in, gets the rebound. So 2 looks there for Armuchee. They do not make points. Here is House for 3. Oh, my goodness. What a tremendous shot. That is her second 3 of the night.
And just like that, it's a 1-point ball game. And Pepperell, I believe that's a 7-9 or 9-2 run. So they've won in this second quarter so far.
16-15, as Grayson mentioned, a 1-point ball game in favor of Armuchee. Their lead has dwindled to 1. Here's Harris now to the near side. Puckett fires the 3. That one's off the mark. Vitello there with the putback after the rebound. It won't go. McConkey gets it though, and now Armuchee gets it back out around the perimeter. Kelsey Art gonna drive, kicks out, wide open 3 for Vitello. Karam's off the rim. House is there, gets the rebound for Pepperell. She wants to work quick. Goes across the timeline, between the circles, 3 ball. That's going to be left short, goes off the rim and out of bounds. So that's coming back to Armuchee.
Yeah, and right now it feels like, especially on those rebounds, if Caitlin House gets the ball on the open floor, she's probably going to go down the other end and shoot it. So on the defensive side for Armuchee, you got to be mindful, and we saw Vitello face guarding her, but especially off those rebounds, you're going to have to get to her immediately, because as soon as she gets the ball down in the half court, she's probably going to shoot the ball.
Kelsey Art with the basketball, sends it right wing side to Josie Harris. Harris with it, now sends it inside. 2 passes underneath, and Art sinks the shot, gets the foul, and can get 3 points the old-fashioned way here.
And Caitlin House is down right now. Don't know exactly what happened,
Ooh.
but that would be a very bad loss, and certainly hope all is well at this moment, but she is down.
Well, I tell you what, that definitely took a lot of the air out of the building for everybody here, because obviously nobody wants to see anybody get injured. But especially for the Pepperell folks, as that young lady, Caitlin House, who's had just an unbelievable tournament, is on the floor right now being looked at by the trainer, of course. Coach Clater out there as well. So we will have a little bit of an injury timeout here. We're going to keep it here. It looks like she's going to get up pretty quick. So House is up, and it looks like she's kind of grabbing her shoulder, like the right shoulder here. So we will see. She's going to take a seat right now for a few moments, but you're right, it was pretty scary.
That was really scary indeed. Certainly on that shooting shoulder, that's not exactly what you're looking at. Shoulder injuries, they can suck, because they can keep you out for a long time.
Free throw coming up from Arp, and it caroms off the rim, so the score remains 18-15 in favor of Armuchee, up by 3 points. Across the timeline go the Pepperell Dragons. A nice spin move trying to get into the lane, lost the ball though. Now kicks it back up top, gets it over to Harris. Harris going to work around a screen, now backs her way in. Loses the ball, but McGinnis picks it up, sends it right back to Harris. Underneath the basket, puts it up, rattles off the rim, and McConkey's there for the rebound. Fires it to Arp. They're going to work quick. Another bounce pass to McConkey. Puts it up, misses the shot, gets her own rebound, and punches it through.
This is totally unrelated, but I remember I said suck a few seconds ago. I forgot that's an unwritten rule and announcing not to say that, so.
And then you said it again, explaining that you said it and shouldn't have. Come on now, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Ball is knocked through by Harris. She'll pick it up, ball loose on the floor, and they're pointing in Armuchee's direction. And they're going to charge a foul. They're going to get Sarah Harris on that one. And so we get ready for Josie Harris to inbound the basketball in the backcourt. Arp is going to bring it up the floor here for the Armuchee Lady Indians. They lead at 20-15 here with 1:15 left to go. And if you're just tuning in, we'll let you know after this shot. This is Puckett for three off the side of the rim. That right now out of the game is Caitlin House, went down with an injury favoring her shoulder. So we may see her again, but we'll see. Streaking down the sidelines with Sarah Harris. She got bumped into. That's going to be a foul against Armuchee.
And, you know, obviously you don't want to see Caitlin House even in the crowd, or especially if you're Pepperell, but it'll be interesting to see if Armuchee gives a different look defensively now that you don't have the scoring threat to worry about.
So we're going to see Sarah Harris going back to the free throw line. She's 50% tonight, 2 of 4, and she will get her 5th and 6th free throws here. First shot's on the way, and it is in. She's made 3 in a row and gets ready to pull the trigger on another one. That cuts it back to a 4-point ball game in favor of Armuchee, 20-16. We're just under the 1-minute mark of the second quarter. Second shot, and that's going to fall through as well. All right, we got a 3-point, 1-score ball game. 55 seconds left to go in the half. Arp across the timeline, dribbles between the circles, sends it right wing side, gets it to Duck. Now back to the near side. They're going to go to McConkey on the left wing. Around to Harris, back to McConkey, trying to work it inside. McConkey taking the handoff, trying to from Vitello. It was stripped away. Pepperell comes out with it. Now they'll work it back the other side. Fans on the Armuchee side think that Harris got away with a travel there. Ball is going to be knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Dragons. So 20-17. Again, Armuchee leads it by 3 points. We got 27.1 seconds on the clock here in the half. Inbound pass is going to go to the right side, over to Hannah Smith. Hopper brings it up top, gives it to McInnes, kept her pivot foot on the floor just barely, driving inside, shot is up. Second look, that one is going to go, and punching it through there for the Dragons is going to be Cordell. Armuchee comes back the other way, only leading now by 1. Harris now off to Art. Vitello handles the pass, now inside. And time expired. I don't think there was awareness there of how much was left on the clock, and they didn't get the shot off. So with that said, it is now halftime, and Armuchee leads the ball game by 1 point, 20-19. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We're glad you're with us. We'll come back with a halftime show after a 3-minute break.
You've been injured by a car wreck, dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence. You need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like a great basketball team, success starts with a solid game plan. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
Yeah, things have changed over the years to make life easier, but still, some stuff you do, it's great to pass on to your kids.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're gonna take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Greetings everyone, Cash Money Mike here with World's Finest Chocolate. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and make sure you keep Christ in Christmas. Remember the reason for the season, and that is love, forgiveness, grace. And if you ever need chocolate, please give me a call. Scan the QR code, and adios.
Everybody, we're on the hill tonight at Shorter University inside the Winthrop King Center and enjoying the gold ball round for the girls bracket here for the 72nd annual Rome Seven Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament, and we're very glad to be with you. And at halftime right now, Armuchee maintains a narrow lead 20-19 that if you're watching on the video you see on the scoreboard right now. But one of the key things that we saw there kind of late in the half was Caitlin House, who's the leading scorer in the tournament for the Pepperell Lady Dragons, had 38 points in their victory in their first round game over Rome. She went down with a shoulder injury, it looked like, and they're working on her, I presume, probably trying to get her taped up and whatnot and assess the situation, see if she'll be able to go in the second half. We did not see her again when she went down for the remainder of that second quarter, but we'll see what that looks like coming out of the break, Grayson.
Yeah, and there was only a few, I think when that happened, maybe a minute 30 left, so probably better to keep her out for that quarter, even if she was able to go, just because, you know, that shoulder injury, it didn't look good from our angle. She kind of fell on it really awkwardly, and she was down for a little bit. And those shoulder injuries are, they certainly don't feel the best and keep you out for a certain duration of time, just because, you know, especially because it's in her shooting arm. So it, you know, not the greatest thing to see. Whether you're Armuchee or Pepperell, you hate to see it.
Well, Grayson, we saw a lot of ebb and flow, if you will, there between the first and second quarters. I'll illustrate that when we break down the scoring here. But in the first quarter, Armuchee jumped out to a 14-5 lead by the end of that quarter. But then the Pepperell Lady Dragons, they answered back there in the second quarter. They would outscore Armuchee in that second frame by a score of 14-6, and a lot of the scoring came from the free throw line as well in that particular quarter, so that kind of evened things out. And now here we are at halftime with a 20-19 score, narrowly in favor of Armuchee. Here's how it would break down individually. We will start with the Pepperell Lady Dragons, who currently trail by 1. They would have 3 players that got in the scoring totals there in the first half. Kirsten Cordell, the junior, picked up 2 points there in the second quarter, and then you would have 7 points from Sarah Harris. 4 of her 7 points came from the charity stripe. She knocked down 4 free throws in a row there in the second quarter, and then Caitlin House was the leading scorer for the Dragons there in the first half with 10 points. As a matter of fact, she led all scorers in the basketball game. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Armuchee Lady Indians, they would have 5 players that got in the scoring totals there in the first half. 2 points for Kelsey Arp. You would have 3 points for Tori Vitello. And then the 3 leading scorers here for Armuchee in the first half. With 4 points, you had Aubrey McConkey. Peyton Puckett had 5. And then Josie Harris was the leading scorer there in the first half for Armuchee. She knocked down a couple of threes, and as far as three-point shots are concerned, Armuchee had 3 of them, but all of those three-pointers were made in the first quarter of the basketball game.
Yeah, and Pepperell started to settle down a little bit in the 2-3, and Armuchee had a lot of good shots. They just weren't going in, but in that second quarter, Pepperell started to turn things up just a little bit. Not, as you said, no threes were made in that second quarter by Armuchee, and that's what they relied on a lot in that first quarter, because Pepperell's kind of sagging off in that 2-3 zone, and especially when they swung it over to the wing, they had a lot of open shots there. And just we'll see how it goes in the second half. Will Pepperell maybe switch things up or stick to what's been working? We'll see, and we'll see if Armuchee can start to make some more shots. They got outscored 14-6 in that quarter, so it'll be something to see as we go down the line of this game.
Well, we needed to take one more break and catch our breath. We've got a tight one here tonight, as we suspected we would. We've got 3 minutes until we start the second half, so we'll take a 2.5-minute break. But right now, we'll remind you that Armuchee's up at halftime 20-19. We're back for the start of the second half after that 2.5-minute break.
If you've been injured by a car wreck, dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence, you need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
It's important for me to get up in the morning, have a knife in my pocket that's going to allow me to pack a trip, load a trailer, do everything I need to do to set up camp, and it's always going to be there for that kind of general utility purpose. Preparation is like the key to success, right?
back on the hill as we get ready to start the second half. Armuchee on top of Pepperell narrowly, 20-19. As time expires of our halftime period, just about ready to go. We do want to let you know that video sponsors tonight. Well, the presenting sponsor is Cromartie Law. Replay is brought to you by Smith & Wood Wealth Management. Also, you've got Mathis True Value Hardware along with us tonight. World's Finest Chocolate, Advent Health Redmond, and the Herb Shop on Broad. Pepperell going to start with the basketball. They're going to go to the top of the key. Now start to work towards the low block. Shot is up. It is missed. And one thing to note here, Grayson, is Caitlin House is on the floor.
Yeah, and we said it during or right before halftime. You know, that shoulder injury didn't look good, just the way she fell down. But thankfully, she's back in the game because not only is she really fun to watch and a great piece for this Pepperell team, it's just not an injury that you want to see, and certainly not wishing injuries upon anybody. So I'm certainly glad that she's back in the game. I think everybody is as well.
Sarah Harris is at the free throw line, just shot and made 2 free throws. That's 6 in a row for her. The original starting 5 is in for both teams. We'll give those names in just a couple of moments, but Pepperell is back in the 2-3 zone here on defense. Here's McConkey, turns from the free throw line, shoots. That one goes off the side of the rim, and the rebound is going to go to Pepperell. So the Dragons now have their first lead. 21-20 is currently the score. 7:28 left to go in the third quarter. We're just underway with the second half. Between the circles with it is Millie Hopper. Drives towards the low block, tries to kick it out and get it to Harris, but the pass is picked off, and Armuchee comes back the other way. Hot pass underneath from Art to Vitello, and Vitello with the finish at the rim. Armuchee takes the lead back from Pepperell. 22-21 now the score. Here's Pepperell on the other end. They work it off towards the left wing side, go back up top. Hopper with the basketball, going to drive towards the low block, trying to back her way in, and we are going to have, I believe, a jump ball. Is that the call?
They call it a jump ball. It'll be Armuchee ball after that.
All right, so Kelsey Arp is going to bounce it in, gets it to Harris. Harris right back to Arp, and she will bring it up the floor. Now approaches the timeline, crosses over, works right. Trying to work against this Pepperell zone. Now back to Arp, sends it left wing side. Vitello with the fake, now sends it back up top to Arp. Right wing side, Harris thought about pulling the trigger on an open 3, elected to go into the lane, and she gets fouled. And that was on the floor, so we're going to get ready for Arp to inbound the ball here for Armuchee with a 1-point lead with 6:30 left to go in the quarter. Here's Harris with a little floater. It is going to be missed and knocked out of bounds, touched by Caitlin House of Pepperell, so it stays on Armuchee's end of the floor. So Kelsey Arp surveys the floor here for the Lady Indians, is going to find Puckett up top, sends it now left to Harris. Now back to Arp, inside, crisp pass to McConkey. That one goes in and out, rim not kind. Rebound is going to go to Cordell and Pepperell. Across the timeline, nice spin move there by Smith as she starts the offense here for the Lady Dragons. A heave towards the bucket. She gets fouled and is going back to the stripe.
And whenever, she's going down the sidelines, I saw this a lot in the second round against Model in the first round. I don't remember exactly who they played in that first round, but she will draw those fouls going down the sideline, and Hannah Smith will make you reach and she'll make you pay.
And that first free throw rattles off the rim. She'll get some encouragement there from teammates House and also Cordell. And here's the second free throw. That one drops, so the encouragement was a big help.
Yeah, and I guess whenever I mentioned Hannah Smith in that first game against Rome and Model, that's what I meant whenever she's going down the sideline. I don't know exactly how I forgot that it was Rome when they played, because Caitlin House dropped 38, and we talked about it a lot in the pregame. But
McConkey underneath, puts it up. She makes the shot, and now Armuchee is back to a 2-point lead. We were tied at 22 before that shot. I failed to reference that. 5:40 left to go here in the third quarter. And now Pepperell working off towards the left wing side, now dribbling back up top. They're going to feed it over to Hopper. Hopper now to the right wing side. Going to get it in the hands of Harris, who drives in, puts it up, and she gets fouled again. So we're going to see Harris going back to the stripe. And, you know, Grayson, she has been red hot from the free throw line in the second and now into the third quarter.
Yeah, and a lot of her points have come from the free throw line. So obviously something's working, getting inside against this aggressive Armuchee defense, trying to draw a lot of these fouls.
First free throw on the way, and that one is right through, and that is going to be 7 in a row between the second and third periods of the basketball game. Made free throws for Sarah Harris. Let's see if she'll make it 8 in a row, and if she does, we're going to be back to a tie ball game. Second shot on the way. That's off the back of the rim, so the score remains in favor narrowly to the Armuchee Indians, 24-23. Here's Vitello trying to add to it, and she does. Gets it to roll in underneath, gets the foul as you could hear the whistle, and now it's going to the stripe for a three-point opportunity.
And what a good pass on that cut. Vitello just striking down near there, and Kelsey Arp just finds it right at the free throw line, and good finish through contact by Vitello.
Shot is through, converts the three-point play, and now Armuchee's back to a 27-23 lead. And checking into the game for Pepperell is going to be Gloria McGinnis. So a little bit of pressure coming here for the Armuchee Indians. And House has got the ball, going to dribble across the timeline with it, streaking down the far sidelines, goes in from the free throw line off the side of the rim. It won't go. And the whistle is going to go against the Dragons. Did they get Hopper on that one?
They got Sidney Evans on that. I think that was over the back.
Across the timeline goes Arp here for Armuchee. Works her way towards the right wing, now towards the baseline. Kicks out wide open three for Harris, and she drills it.
What a pass there from Arp. And we didn't talk about this in pregame, how good of a passer she is. She can see people open from a mile away and feed it right through a needle, and that was a cross court. That's a hard pass to make off one leg on the baseline.
Evans puts up the shot, and that one is through. That was a nice feed from Millie Hopper. And Evans getting the finish there. 30-25 your score. Armuchee on top by 5. Here's Arp with it. She starts to work, but shuffled her pivot foot as she started to make her move. And right in front of the official. So Grayson, this is coming back to Pepperell.
Taking a look at this pass again off the baseline. That's a deep 3-2. That's beyond the college line, just right through the net.
Wow, what a shot. And as you mentioned, great feed. Here comes Millie Hopper with a basketball for Pepperell. She starts to work inside, puts up the shot. That goes off the back of the iron. Arp is there and gets the rebound. She's across the timeline working quick, gets it to Vitello, trying to pass it inside. The pass was blocked by House. Here's Harris for three and knocks down another one. 2 in a row for Harris.
Can't leave her open.
And a timeout's going to be called by Coach Clater and the Pepperell Lady Dragons. 33-25, the lead's back to 8 for Armuchee. 4:04 left to go third quarter. We're back in 30 seconds.
I get ready for a long-range trip by finding inspiration to begin with. Where do I want to go and why? You go away on a big trip and you come back ready to go again.
Inside the Winthrop King Center up on the hill at Shorter University, 72nd annual Rome 7 Hills Rotary Christmas basketball tournament. And I certainly would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity here to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope the holiday season has been good for you so far and hope it continues to be, and that you have a wonderful time with friends and family and enjoy yourselves. Pepperell with the basketball right now, trailing by 8 points. Let's see what they can do out of the timeout. Right now with the basketball is Smith, trying to dribble around Puckett. Gives it off to House. House with the ball, going to dribble back around a screen set by Evans. House with it, still dribbling. Now spins, puts up the shot. That one is going to rattle through. They needed that one. That's going to cut it to a 6-point game, 33-27. Armuchee on top with 3:30 left to go here in the third quarter. Now the left wing side, they get it into the corner to Harris. She's knocked down 2 threes on the last couple of Armuchee possessions. This time it's Arp, and that one kind of sails to the right on her a little bit and goes out of bounds, so it's coming back to Pepperell.
We can finally, well, not finally, but we're now seeing Armuchee find some success going against this 2-3 zone, because in that second quarter they're missing a lot of shots, got outscored 14-6, but now they're making their shots and really making Pepperell work on defense.
McGinnis with the basketball, gets it to Evans. Evans being guarded by McConkey, going to try to back her way in, shakes off the defender, puts up the shot. It is too strong though. Arp's got the rebound, wants to work quick, spins around into the lane, puts it off the glass, nifty move, but didn't get the finish. Here comes House. It's Pepperell with the basketball down to the low block. Little runner and through. What a shot by Caitlin House.
There's just nothing you can do about that. That was good defense. Put her hands up. But Caitlin House, just a tremendous shot maker. Just there's nothing you can do about that in that situation other than just hope and pray it doesn't go in.
And a timeout's going to be called by Coach Arp of Armuchee. 2:33 left to go in the third quarter. The lead after that shot from House is cut back to 4. It's 33-29 in favor of Armuchee over Pepperell. We're back for more after a 30-second break.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're going to take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
All right, folks, we're glad to have you with us tonight on the conclusion of the Christmas tournament. First up, obviously, we are in the midst of the gold ball round. On the girls' side of things, Armuchee is up by 4 points. This has been the battle that we expected it was going to be, a close game throughout, and right now it's a 4-point game, 33-29. Armuchee on top with 2:33 left to go here in the third frame of this championship game. So a gold ball is going to be hoisted in just a little bit. All right. Puckett takes the inbound pass. She dribbles between the circles, now works off towards the right wing side around a screen from Harris. Harris receives the ball, gives it out to Arp. Arp surveys the floor, now tries to cut back towards the right side, gives it to Puckett, inside to McConkey, back to Puckett, and through the net.
That's a good feedback right there, because whenever the defense collapses, especially in that 2-3, you can swing it right back out in the paint for maybe an easy floater. That was just a good shot there for Puckett and a good feed.
Hopper with the basketball is going to send it down to Evans. She'll back her way in, try to feed it back up top. Gets it over to Caitlin House. House driven with that left arm, and we've got a stoppage of play here. Right now, one of the officials is over at the officials table explaining something to the scoreboard operator that they will get sorted out and we will resume. And I assume it's some sort of a clock issue. I didn't see exactly what had happened, but right now she's calling over another one of the officials to try to get her to lend a helping hand and see if they can make sure that everything is on the up and up and correct as possible. So right now, still continuing that conversation over at the scorer's table, trying to make sure that everything is set right. A lot of pointing and gesturing going on right now as they try to get this sorted out and figured out. And right now we're just watching to see what changes, if anything, in terms of the scoreboard. But right now,
I think it was a shot clock issue. The shot clock went off really early, I felt like, in that possession. It only has 20 seconds on that shot clock. Not really sure what the issue is, but it sounds like there's, well, one's at 25 and one's at 20.
Okay, yeah.
One's
all right, now they've
there.
got it. No, one's still at 25 and the other one's at 20. We heard a reaction from the crowd celebrating like we're about to resume play, and then nothing has changed, at least from what the two things we're looking at right now. And now we've got somebody else coming over to get involved in this. And, you know, this is one of those things that Obviously, it's some kind of a technology issue, so it's nobody's fault. But you sure hate to see these kind of stoppages in play and things of that nature that are not really a part of the flow of the game interrupt the rhythm of how this ball game is going. So now we're going to get some music on the PA, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take for them to get this sorted out. But just to kind of bring you up to speed on where we are, if you happen to be just tuning in, as each team goes to their respective coaches and bench, have a little bit of conversation and take advantage of this timeout here to discuss strategy when we finally resume play, which right now we don't really know when that is going to be. It looks like it may be a little bit, but right now, just to let you know, Armuchee's got the lead. They are up 35-29. We've got 2:01 left to go in the third quarter. We were running a bit behind when this game started, and now we're having some issues here with the shot clocks.
And some with the clock, or some with the score too. You look at the scoreboard on my right. This one says 35-29. The other one says 33-29. So I really have no clue what happened there.
I don't either. I tell you what, I am tempted to take a break, because normally if you do that, then the problem will get solved very quickly. Because as soon as I take a break, I promise they will start playing. So I'm a little hesitant to do it, but maybe I should do that to give them the broadcaster's curse of taking said break, and then it'll make things work for the greater good here. But we're glad you're with us for live coverage of the 72nd annual Rome Seven Hills Rotary Christmas Basketball Tournament. Matt Davis and Grayson Atkins with you tonight as they continue to try to work on the scoreboard. And as Grayson has aptly pointed out, you got a situation here where you've got one score on one scoreboard. To my left, you see that the score shows 33-29, but to our right, it shows 35-29. And then one of the shot clocks says 25, and the other one says 20. So I can honestly say that I have never seen anything quite like this ever before, and I've been doing this for a long time.
I haven't either, and we even have Mr. Patterson down there trying to figure it out.
And
meeting of all sorts of minds.
And Mr. Patterson, the owner of Northwest Georgia Media, is an engineer by trade, and I'll tell you what, if there's a problem, he'll solve it.
Yeah, I remember yesterday.
He's a problem solver.
He sure is. I got here yesterday and couldn't exactly figure out the soundboard, and he immediately came down and helped me figure it out. So if you have any technology needs, I don't blow him up, but
don't blow him up.
He'll solve it for sure.
He'll appreciate that comment.
He'll solve it for sure.
Now Mr. Patterson is on his own screen here, and he's usually a behind-the-scenes guy, so it's going to be interesting to see what his reaction to that is, because I think he kind of likes to be behind the scenes for the most part.
There's one half of the problem solved. Both shot clocks are the same.
I will say this, though. I think it's safe to say that we can take a break, so we're going to do that. What's that?
I said, yeah, let's go.
I thought you said it was going. I was like, okay, well, that did it. All right, well, let's go ahead and step out for 1 minute, and as they continue to sort this out, 1 minute break down the line. We'll be back here for more coverage of the Christmas tournament.
Serious car wrecks deserve serious action. Call Cromartie Law in Rome.
They've collected tens of millions on behalf of their clients.
When you have a serious injury, you want a serious law firm on your side. You want Rick working on your personal injury case.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
The funniest thing, but we took the break, and there for a second it looked like as soon as we hit play on that commercial break that they had it fixed. But that turns out not to be the case. So as we welcome you back in here to the Winthrop King Center at Shorter University up on the hill, they are still tending to some issues regarding the clocks. And right now it looks like they've got the scoreboard issue sorted out, but they're still doing some work here on the shot clocks. And now one of them says 35 and the other one says 25. You know, before we took the break, one of them said 20 and the other one said 25. And I noticed that the athletics director here from Shorter is frantically on some phone calls trying to get some assistance here to try to get this sorted out. And you know, one of the things that's interesting to watch is obviously for the coaches of both teams, this is a very highly frustrating situation because it absolutely just takes things out of rhythm and that sort of thing. As far as the game is concerned, even though it's nobody's fault, you know this has got to be an extremely frustrating situation here for both teams as they are out on the floor ready to resume as soon as this situation is resolved. And we're all just in a kind of an awkward holding pattern until they can get it fixed and we can move forward and continue this championship game. So it's unfortunate for this to happen anytime, but particularly when you're in a high stakes environment, packed out crowd, you are at this point of a championship game and then you have a situation like this that takes place. And again, certainly not picking on anybody. It's nobody's fault that this is happening, but a very frustrating situation. I can only imagine what it's like for the folks that are having to deal with this thing head on to try to find a solution. So we will see what happens, but we are still, again, in quite a timeout here as they try to resolve whatever is going on with the scoreboards. And Grayson, it looks like we may be making some progress here.
Yeah, looks like we're making some good progress here.
Well, we'll let you know that once we conclude this game, we're going to have the boys championship, and tonight we're going to get the Model Blue Devils and the Darlington Tigers.
That's going to be a fight for sure. We saw it last year. That game's certainly going to be a fight. And what a way to cap it off, especially in those games. It's always going to be packed.
Oh, it is. And I know the last two meetings of those two teams were regular season games last year. I believe one of them was in the region tournament and one of them was in the regular season, but they were decided by 2 points. And both of those games were in favor of Model there. I know that Darlington won earlier in the season, last season, but
thank goodness.
You know, I know there's some new players, but some remain, so they've got a little revenge on their mind, I would presume. But right now we're playing basketball. Thank goodness. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, we resume. Pepperell with the basketball. They're going to work it to the low block. Right now Evans has got it for the Lady Dragons. She held the ball quite a while, got rid of it just in time. And here is House going to put it up from the free throw line. Karam's off the side of the rim. It'll be picked up on the rebound by Hopper. It stays with the Dragons. That one caught between the backboard and the rim, falls off. Hopper ends up with the ball again, trying to bounce it. She travels.
Looks like she just didn't keep that pivot foot down.
And so Armuchee with a 35-29 lead, and presumably the clock situation sorted out. We resume. And now Art with the basketball sends it to Harris. Now back up top. Fires it right wing side to Puckett. Inside to McConkey. Shakes off the defender and scores. What a move, Grayson.
That was a good pass fake, especially because they've been catching them on that for the past few possessions. That little dump off right back to the cutter. Just a good fake pass there from McConkey and made Sine Evans pay for biting on that.
Here is House off the glass, but that's going to be an offensive foul. It's coming back to Armuchee. The basket will not count. And the score is 37-29 in favor of the Indians with 1 minute and 1 second left on the clock in the third quarter. Evans is going to check out for Pepperell. Looks like House is going to check out too after that call foul. And so the Indians bring it up the floor. Arp sending some signals to her teammates. Pepperell still in their zone. Puckett sends the ball inside, and McConkey, they found something underneath. McConkey knocks down her second bucket in as many possessions.
Just a good drop step there by McConkey.
And now Pepperell on the left wing. Hopper trying to spin her way towards the low block. Sends it back out to the left wing side, and Smith travels as she receives the pass. And so Harris to send it inbounds here for Armuchee. They'll bring it out of the backcourt. Hand signals there from Arp. She crosses the timeline, goes across the shorter Hawk head at mid-floor. Puckett sends it right wing side to McConkey. That one's going in the backcourt, touched by Vitello, and it's coming back to the Dragons. Well, Grayson, who you got, the Dukes or the Ducks tonight?
You know what? Give me the ups. I'm just joking. Obviously, Oregon. I think these games are pointless just because, I mean, go ahead.
Well, the shot was missed, and there was a foul called, so we've got McGinnis going to the free throw line. So free throw shots forthcoming here for Pepperell as they try to claw their way back in this game. They all of a sudden find themselves with their biggest deficit down by 10. She knocks down a free throw. That helps as they start to try to climb back in this one.
To answer your question, I have Oregon, and I'm not going to go on an Ian Griffin rant about why I think Group of 5 teams shouldn't be in the playoff, but that's a different story for a different day. Shout out Ian. I love hearing his football takes. Maybe he's watching right now. Who knows?
Here's McGinnis on the second shot. That one goes off the side of the rim. Rebound picked up by Duck. She gets fouled immediately by Cordell. So Kristen Cordell charged with the foul, and we're going to see Armuchee go to the free throw line here in just a couple of moments. It's going to be Bella Duck at the charity stripe for the first time of the ball game. So a couple of shots coming up for her. And the first one's on the way, and that one rolls around the rim about 2 or 3 times and then settled in to the basket. That was a pretty dramatic free throw right there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was pretty dramatic. I thought it was going to go out for a second just because the way the ball spanned, but it went in.
Had a little English on it. Makes the second shot, makes them both. And so the score is now an 11-point lead for Armuchee, and we're almost done with the third frame. Here is Pepperell with the ball on the left wing side. Heaves a three-pointer. Didn't get the rim. It was caught in the air by McConkey. That's the end of the first quarter, and Armuchee takes an 11-point, 41-30 lead into the final 8 minutes of the championship gold ball game on the girls' side. We'll be back in 1 minute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making tonight's broadcast possible. Our presenting sponsor, Cromartie Law. Instant Replay is brought to you by Smith & Woods Wealth Management. We also thank Mathis True Value Hardware, Advent Health Redmond, World's Finest Chocolate, and the Herb Shop on Broad. Please support the businesses that support us.
Dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence, you need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
And we are quickly back underway. Shot is missed. Rebound is going to go to Armuchee after Pepperell had a one-and-done possession. Here's Arp into the paint. Euro step, misses the shot. Ball loose on the floor, battled for and picked up by House. So the Dragons are going to try to bring it back the other way. Bit of pressure here from Armuchee, and it looks like Arp is going to get charged with a foul there. As going down to the floor was Millie Hopper.
Interesting.
And so the Dragons bring it up the floor. Across the timeline is Hopper with the basketball. Going to leave it off for Hannah Smith. Smith now on to Harris. Harris with the basketball towards the low block. Spins around, shakes off the defender, puts up the shot, misses. Rebound. Well, a battle ensues, and it's going to ricochet out of bounds, coming back to Armuchee.
I thought that screen was a bang play. It looked like Arp ran into her as soon as that screen was set, but doesn't really matter now. Armuchee has the ball.
Armuchee outscored Pepperell in the third frame, 21-11. And now they're out to an 11-point, 41-30 lead. They led by 1 at halftime. Here's House with the basketball after the turnover. A heave towards the bucket and through. And I got to tell you, Pepperell needed that one in the worst way.
That's 4 on Arp, too. Oh, they called it on House.
Oh, my goodness. So scratch off the points. That one's on House. And the Armuchee fans rejoice. And then the folks on the Pepperell end of things are protesting right now. This is one fired up crowd.
It's like they called a warning or they called a technical foul on Clater right there, I believe. Yeah, they called a technical on Clater. A little bit of a heavy protest there from the Pepperell sideline. And now Armuchee will shoot some technical free throws.
That's exactly right, and have possession of the basketball afterwards. So Kelsey Arp is at the free throw line here with a couple of shots forthcoming. Knocks down the first, gets ready for a second, and the score moves to 42-30, biggest lead of the night here for the Lady Indians at a critical time. 7:02 left to go in the ball game. Second shot, and that one's going to rattle through, and Armuchee will get set to inbound the basketball now with a 13-point lead. Still a lot of basketball left to be played, though. Plenty of time here for this Pepperell team to try to battle back. Going to be a tough task, though, against this red-hot Armuchee team. All right, they get it to left wing side. Josie Harris with it. Harris going to fire it underneath, trying to get to Vitello. Another pass underneath, and we're going to have a jump ball. Possession arrow points in Armuchee's direction, so it's going to stay on this end.
And you mentioned it's going to be tough for Pepperell to claw back into this game just because Armuchee's finding ways to score inside against this 2-3, and oh my
Art
gosh.
on the inbound pass. Here comes Puckett with the 3 ball. Misses the shot. Rebound goes to Vitello. Here's Art with the try. That one's too strong. A rebound from McConkey. Now back to Puckett. And right now Armuchee playing a little keep away. They're happy to take as much time as possible off the clock with a 13-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Here is Art. Fires it to the right wing side. Gets it to Puckett. Puts up the shot, and that one is through.
It's going to be hard when Armuchee's getting a lot of offensive rebounds, and especially when they're making shots like that, and Pepperell having a hard time finding looks right now.
Hopper spins her way into the paint, puts up the shot. Pepperell needed a bucket. Hopper provided it. That cuts it back to 13, 45-32, 6 minutes to go. Arp on the other end between the circles, gives it over to Vitello, now left wing side to Puckett. Now back up top, going to go to McConkey. On to Harris. Harris tries to pass it deep into the corner to Art, but it was deflected out of bounds, I believe, by Sarah Harris of Pepperell. So it stays with the Lady Indians. Art looks around the floor. Now going to send it right wing. They're going to go down low to the low block with a pass to Vitello. Tries to kiss it off the glass. A little too much English. Goes off the front of the rim. Here is Art. She goes into the paint from the free throw line. Banks it in off the glass. Big time bucket from a big time player, Kelsey Art. 45-32, biggest lead of the night. 15 points here for Armuchee as they try to put it away. Scoop shot on the other end by Hopper. Here comes Vitello going coast to coast. Drives in, puts it off the glass. Gets the finish and the foul.
Good way to finish through contact right there from Vitello.
And the lead continues to grow here for Armuchee as Vitello goes to the free throw line here with an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Especially with House in the game, it's still going to be hard to overcome this deficit just because Pepperell's not finding good looks. A lot of their looks are contested, and even when they go in, Armuchee's responding right back with a bucket of their own.
Vitello converts the 3-point play after making the free throw, and now the lead has grown to 18 points. This is a big hill to climb for the Pepperell Lady Dragons if they want to hoist their first gold ball in history of the program. 3 ball is missed by House, and a foul is charged after the ensuing rebound against Pepperell. And you can feel the frustration setting in for this Lady Dragons team.
And that's 5 on her, too. That's a big loss.
Huge loss, as fouling out of the game is going to be Sarah Harris. She will check out of the tournament for the last time this season. But she is a junior, so she'll get another crack at it coming up next year. Arp across the timeline for the Lady Indians is going to send it to the near side. Now over to Aubrey McConkey. She goes up top to Vitello. Here's Arp, wide open 3. That goes off the back of the rim, but the rebound's tracked down by Harris. Crisp pass inside to McConkey, out to Harris. Backing up is Arp. Looks like Coach Arp right now wants her team to get the shot clock down as low as possible with each possession to see if they can eat some clock here. But the ball is stolen away from Pepperell. They come back the other way, trying to get it in transition. Shot is up, hangs on the rim, and in. What a shot. Oh my goodness, a circus shot right there by Hannah Smith. You want to talk about the dramatics of the ball hanging on the rim and then going in, and plus she got fouled, so she goes to the free throw line. Shot on the way. That one is going to rattle off the side of the rim. Rebound's going to be taken by Armuchee. Harris with the ball, sends it right wing side to McConkey. Harris now on to Arp. Left wing side, Vitello with the basketball. 4:10 left to go here in the contest. Armuchee in control. Harris with it, now to Arp. Drives baseline, fires it back up top. Great ball movement. Vitello with the 3 ball off the side of the rim. And House is there for the rebound. 50-34, Armuchee leads it by 16. Here's House, goes in all alone. That one rolls off the rim. Rebound goes to Arp. She motors quickly across the timeline. Bounce pass underneath to McConkey from Arp. McConkey scores again. 52-34, 3:30 left to go. Shot on the way and through. Caitlin House knocks down the tray. Now she's got 17 points in this contest, and we're going to have a timeout. Armuchee 52, Pepperell 37, 3 minutes and 32 seconds away from our first goal ball, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're going to take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
We've got 3 minutes and 32 seconds left of the gold ball round here in the girls' championship game. Right now, Armuchee looks to be in firm control of this basketball game. So if Pepperell's going to make a dramatic comeback, the comeback starts right now because they are running out of time. The scoreboard and the clock certainly not in their favor. Armuchee has the ball as well. They get ready to inbound the basketball here. Armuchee will inbound to Michelle Arp, or not Michelle, her daughter, Kelsey Arp. Ball stolen away. House goes in, gets fouled. So this is a good part of the recipe if you're wanting to come back here for Pepperell. Getting to the free throw line, they have to get some points with the clock stopped.
And now that is 4, I believe, on Kelsey Arp.
17 points for Caitlin House. She's at the free throw line getting ready for a couple of shots from the charity stripe. That one's off the front of the rim. So one more coming up here. As you pointed out, Kelsey Arp is going to check out of the game. Getting some instruction there from her mom, the coach. Second shot coming up here from House. It's on the way, and it is through. She knocks it down. That makes it a 52-38 game with 3:28 left to go here in the game. Indians on the other side. Harris with it. Going to bounce it out to, or actually that was Puckett bouncing it to Harris. Harris will work around one of the Pepperell defenders, leaves it off for Vitello. She'll back up, try to hold the ball for a couple of moments. 3:10 left to go on the clock, and a whistle and a foul is going to go against McGinnis of Pepperell.
And Pepperell's going to bump the pressure up going back into a man. I don't think we've seen it all game. If it was really early in the first quarter. but they're going to amp up that defense, try to get a few possessions back, but you end up fouling, and they have 5 fouls. So Armuchee and their best shooters at the free throw line.
Harris puts one up. That's off the back of the rim. It won't fall. As a matter of Harris, this is her first trip to the stripe tonight. And to your point on the shooting prowess, she's made 4 threes tonight, Grayson. Second shot is going to go.
Look, I jinxed the first one by saying she's the best shooter. That she missed one, so. Well, she's still its best shooter on the floor, though.
Pepperell across the timeline. They feed it out to Evans on the right wing side. She will try to back her way in, then feeds it back out to McGinnis. Heaves the three. That one's off the mark. Ball loose on the floor. Diving for it was Harris and also one of the Pepperell players. And we get a timeout here. And so we'll take it as well. 2:51 left to go in the game. Armuchee up 53-38 over Pepperell. And we will be back in 30 seconds.
I get ready for a long-range trip by finding inspiration to begin with. Where do I want to go and why? You go away on a big trip and you come back ready to go again.
Armuchee with a 53-38 lead here with 2:51 left to go in the final quarter of the gold ball championship game here. Armuchee up over Pepperell. Arp going to give it off to Harris. And Arp will send their offense in motion. Works towards the right wing side. Going to drive towards the low block. Puts it up off the glass. Hangs on the rim and then falls in. Arp with another bucket. House across the timeline for Pepperell. Fires the long-range three. That one's left short. Caught a little bit of net and then sailed out of bounds, so it comes back to Armuchee. And right now, Pepperell's just in desperation mode, trying to get what they can. But time is running out. Oh, errant pass is going to sail out of bounds to the Pepperell bench, so the ball's going to stay with Pepperell.
Just a little miscommunication. A lot of times in those press breaks, you'll have somebody to pass the ball over there to, but just nobody there.
Inbound pass went from Smith to Caitlin House, and then Caitlin House was able to bank it in off the glass. So the score moves to 55-40, still a 15-point lead for Armuchee. Kelsey Arp went coast to coast, tried the layup, missed the shot, but Vitello has the rebound for Armuchee, and the Indians retain possession after the missed shot. Here is Arp with the basketball. 15 seconds remaining on the shot clock. We're officially under the 2-minute mark of this game. Again, Armuchee up by 15. Here's Arp trying to work around a screen, goes in, lays it up, couldn't get it to go. The putback, though, for Vitello is going to fall.
Yeah, and Pepperell they just can't really get a defensive rebound against Armuchee. Armuchee has a lot of offensive rebounds in this game.
Hopper with a scoop shot underneath, misses the shot. Rebound goes to McConkey, and Arp is going to bring it up the floor here for Armuchee. And they're starting to see that gold in their future at this point. Up 17 points. I don't think there's anything Pepperell can do mathematically in this one. Here is Puckett with the basketball, backs up between the circles, resets the offense. 15 seconds on the shot clock remaining. McConkey now to Vitello, now over to Harris. They'll keep it all the way down to the shot clock, bleed out as much time. We're officially under a minute to go. Here's Vitello, the scoop, misses the shot. Ball poked out of bounds by Pepperell. It stays with Armuchee. The ball did hit the rim, so we're going to have a fresh shot clock here for the Lady Indians.
And as you said, there's really nothing they can do mathematically with a 17-point deficit with 55 seconds left. I don't think we're going to see a Tracy McGrady performance in this one.
Harris takes the inbound pass. I don't see, well, Kelsey Arp now with the ball. We're at a capacity crowd, no doubt, now at the Winthrop King Center. Great atmosphere here tonight in this ball game. And Armuchee with the basketball, and there is a foul that's going to be against Hannah Smith.
Just trying to chew some clock a little bit, trying to get a possession back for Pepperell. But I think me and you agree. It's kind of too little, too late.
Yeah, 42.4 seconds on the clock. Art, with not a lot of pressure on that shot, is able to knock down another free throw. She is now 3 of 4 from the charity stripe with another one coming up. This is her 5th attempt from the line. Second shot from this pair is through. She's made 4 free throws here in the fourth quarter alone. And now that brings the lead to 19, 59-40. 38 seconds left to go in the ball game. Pepperell with the basketball. House has got it. Now starts to work inside, spins around, puts up the shot, and that one is through as she pads the stat sheet there. She's had a pretty darn good game, especially considering the fact that she's playing with an injury for a good part of the game. And Art now with the ball. The fans are on their feet in blue, and she will have the opportunity here to dribble out the remaining seconds with a great big smile on her face. And ladies and gentlemen, the Armuchee Lady Indians have officially won the gold ball here in 2025, breaking a streak that dates back to 2001. The Lady Indians win their first gold ball since 2001 and ends the drought of 24 years. So congratulations to Michelle Arp and the Lady Indians. They are the winners of the first gold ball, awarded tonight by a final score of 59-42 over the Pepperell Dragons. My goodness, what a victory for the Armuchee Lady Indians tonight.
Yeah, what a great win. They took advantage early. You know, we saw a lot of energy being played. We saw the pressure, and especially when they were playing against that 2-3 zone, they were dicing it up for the majority of the game, and it wasn't until the Pepperell went to a man defense. It was kind of too little, too late. They're already in foul trouble. You know, it was just a really good effort going against this, and Pepperell just couldn't get it done tonight, even with Caitlin House.
We're about to have the presentation of the gold ball here momentarily, although we're going to have to take a break here in a couple of moments so that I can have a few minutes to total up the scorebook. But we'll go ahead and take a break. They may stick with it on the video side. Well, no, let's keep it here so we can hear the celebration. They have now got the gold ball, and tell you what, that is a fired up group of Armuchee Lady Indians as they celebrate the victory.
I think it's shiny too.
With their head coach. It is very shiny. I think it feels a little extra shiny this year. I don't know what it is. Gets a little shinier each year perhaps, but nonetheless, again, congratulations to Coach Arp and the Armuchee Lady Indians, their first gold ball since 2001. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in 3 minutes to wrap up the girls' championship game and set the stage for the boys. Coming up in just a little bit, it is going to be the Model and Darlington boys coming up for the boys' championship. We're back in 3 minutes.
You've been injured by a car wreck, dog bite, slip and fall, or someone else's negligence. You need Cromartie Law. Call 706-622-4853 for your free consultation. Get personal service from local attorneys.
Search Cromartie Law.
Call me first, Rick Cromartie.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like a great basketball team, success starts with a solid game plan. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
Also from our Atlantic Breeder. From Model, Kim Sanders. Also from Model, Sasha Good. And from our team, Tori Benson. For the 72nd Rome St. Louis Rotary Club Christmas Basketball Tournament. Your tournament MVP from Armuchee High School.
Well, congratulations are in order once again for the Armuchee Lady Indians, and Coach Michelle Arp just picked up the victory here in the championship game by a final score of 59-42 over Pepperell, and they win the gold ball this year, their first one since 2001. And we will mention to you, we didn't have the opportunity to write down all the players that made all tournament team, but we did catch who the MVP was, and one that was in the game that we just saw. It was Tori Vitello of the Armuchee Lady Indians winning the tournament MVP. So congratulations to her on that honor. Well, let's break down the scoring from the game. We're going to start by looking at it quarter by quarter. By the end of the first quarter, Armuchee put together a 14-5 lead. It was a tale of two quarters when we got to the halftime because Pepperell had cut it to a 1-point game by the time they went to the locker room. 20-19 was the score, but when we got into the third quarter, well, that certainly favored Armuchee. They outscored Pepperell there in that third quarter 21-11, and they never looked back. They would outscore Pepperell in the fourth quarter 18-12 and would eventually win the game again by the final score 59-42. As far as individual efforts, as far as scoring is concerned, you'd pick up 4 points from Hannah Smith, 2 points for Millie Hopper, 1 for Gloria McGinnis, 2 apiece for Kirsten Cordell and Evans. And then the two leading scorers for Pepperell tonight had a couple of players in double digits. One was Sarah Harris with 10 points, and 7 of her 10 points were from the charity stripe. And Caitlin House would pick up 22 points, would actually be the leading scorer in the game. Meanwhile, for the Armuchee Lady Indians, who were victorious, Grayson, they would have 4 players that got in double digits tonight, and one player that was a notch short of that. So you would pick up 2 points from Bella Duck, 9 points from Peyton Puckett. You would have 10 points for Kelsey Arp, 12 points for Aubrey McConkey. Tori Vitello would have 13 points, and then also Josie Harris would have 13 points. And Josie, we also mentioned earlier, knocked down 4 threes between the first and the third quarters of the basketball game. So just a great effort by both teams, but Armuchee would not be denied tonight, and they pick up the gold ball victory this evening.
Yeah, just a great win for them, and certainly some momentum as once this Christmas tournament ends, you know, teams are going to start region play. So this is just a great way to get warmed up, because Armuchee, they're certainly going to be a contender in that region. And of course we see Pepperell, they're of course going to be a contender in their region as well, which is in Model's region, and it's deep in that region. You have Temple, Model, Heard County. This tournament is just a good way to maybe play some non-region opponents and get to see where your team's really made of. We got to see what both teams are really made of here during this tournament.
Well, that's going to put a wrap on our broadcast of the girls' gold ball game here, the championship game. And with that, Armuchee moves their season record to 8-4 on the season. Pepperell falls to 11-2. And man, what an enjoyable basketball game that was. Well, what we're going to do is take a break here. I do want to recognize the crew before we wrap up this broadcast here, so don't take your headset off just yet. But of course, as far as the video is concerned, Afton, well, I got to pull it back up because we had some changes for tonight. I was about to read the wrong list, so I apologize for that. I want to make sure that everybody gets their proper due. But nonetheless, for tonight, you had midcourt cameras, Afton Taylor and Bennett Abernathy. Sideline cameras, Clay Hardiker and Miracle Lilly. Replay was Nathan Patterson, Mike Garrett, the director. I'm Matt Davis with play-by-play, along my color commentator here for the first game, Grayson Atkins. It's great to see you, man. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and thank you. You did a great job tonight, sir.
No problem. Merry Christmas to you as well. I'm sure I'll probably see you Wednesday for the Christmas Eve show we're going to have, but, you know, we'll see. Merry Christmas.
And we'll also mention that Thomas Patterson is in for Levi on PTZ cameras tonight in the clutch there. So with that said, we're going to put a wrap on this particular broadcast, but we're going to get you ready for the boys game. It is going to be the Model Blue Devils and the Darlington Tigers. Sure to be some fireworks on that one. So don't go anywhere, everybody. We're going to get ready for a great one. So anyway, let's take a break. We're going to be back in 5 minutes to set everything up here for the boys matchup. We'll be back in 5 minutes.